What is in store for media? Should there be another Marcos administration? That big question and more with Vergel Santos, member of the Center for Media Freedom and Responsibility. Good evening, Mr. Santos. Welcome to the big story.
Hi, Robbie. Thank you for having me.
Mr. Santos, Bongbong Marcos says he doesn't understand why media is saying that they cannot have access. Do you understand? Where is that complaint coming from?
We don't understand each other, apparently. I cannot understand how he can deny what is so obvious, which is keeping the media well off him. Because if he had not done that, we would have had all the answers to all the questions that we want to ask him. But we have none of that. But he simply doesn't want to risk being seen as he doesn't want to take disadvantageous questions.
Yeah.
No, risking answers that he might find would put him in a bad light.
Yes, and certainly many people, political pundits have been saying, obviously, no talk, no mistake. They've been very disciplined in that regard. But we're speaking about that in the context of Bongbong Marcos as candidate. What does all of this portend should there be a president, Ferdinand Marcos Jr.?
I don't know whether we will have a president in President Marcos at all. I don't think, I'm not so sure that that is a prospect, that even if he were elected, he would be president in the true sense of the word. And remember that he said all he wanted to do was protect his family, didn't he? So what do those words mean? To me, those words simply mean that possibly in exchange for presidential power, he would be very willing to simply be guaranteed that he and his family keep their plundered wealth. It's not about the presidency. That's why any promise of what he will do when he becomes president is an empty one. You know, why cannot he do that now? Say, when he becomes president, he will be answering all questions, he will be facing all media. Why cannot he do that now?
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Because he cannot do the right thing. He can only pay lip service to it.
Okay.
It's so easy to promise, Robbie. The presidency is very much off now. You know?
Okay, so let's
But
get
right
back.
now, he's not going to do it.
Okay, now let's get back, Mr. Santos, to his candidacy. Right now, if we go by the surveys, he is the front runner, and he's a front runner despite having to handpick, despite not doing interviews, despite not doing the traditional media routes, and so on, and not giving media any access. That, coupled with the fact that he is performing well in the campaign, what does that all mean for the influence of media and the role of media looking forward, regardless of who wins?
Well, one, obviously, Mr. Marcos believes in surveys, notwithstanding the fact that the environment is not conducive to reliable surveys, you know, because of the fear that's going on around. Second, there is a certain measure of indictment that might be credible against the media. Some media are not trying hard enough. I have seen some media that Mr. Marcos met who were not prepared to ask hard questions. And therefore, these are the media that Mr. Marcos meet for mutual indulgence. You know, so there is something about the media is not free of blame here. The media are not trying hard enough. If Mr. Marcos doesn't want to answer questions, that should be reported and looked into in deeper ways. Like, why is he not answering questions? Why is he not answering questions about his family wealth?
Okay.
Why is he not answering questions about his non-payment of taxes. Why is he not asking questions about lies that have been proven that he has propagated
Sige.
about his educational statements, for instance? The media are not altogether free of blame.
Okay. Mr. Santos, maraming salamat po. That was Vergel Santos of the CMFR.